You are 20 something years old, and somewhere between scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel and lying awake at 2 a.m. asking yourself, what am I doing with my life? You started to believe that you were behind, that everyone else got a manual, you didn't, that by now you should have it figured out. I want to talk to you today because that feeling, it's lying to you. We live in a culture that has decided your 20s are a deadline. Get the degree by 22, start the career by 24, know your purpose by 25, be in a serious relationship by 27. And if you're not hitting those markers, something is wrong with you. Social media made it worse because now you're not just comparing yourself to the women around you, you're comparing yourself to a curated version of every woman on the internet, and it's exhausting. But here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. The pressure you feel to have it all figured out, it was designed, it was handed to you, and you get to put it down. The first thing I want to say is this: comparison doesn't just steal your joy, it steals your clarity. When you spend your energy measuring your chapter 3 against someone else's chapter 10, you stop paying attention to what's actually happening in your own story. You miss the growth. You miss the signs. You miss the small, quiet ways God or life is already moving you forward. Someone else having direction doesn't mean you're directionless. It means you're on a different timeline. And here's the hard truth: your timeline was never supposed to look like theirs. The women you most admire, the ones who seem to radiate purpose, they didn't download a plan overnight. They stayed curious. They stayed faithful to the small things in front of them, and eventually the path became clear. Clarity is not a destination, it's a practice. Here's the lie we've all been sold: that purpose is this big dramatic moment, this lightning bolt revelation where everything suddenly makes sense and you finally know exactly who you're supposed to be. That's not how it works, at least not for most of us. Purpose unfolds. It shows up in the things that make you come alive, in the conversations you find yourself having at 11 p.m., in the problems you can't stop trying to solve, in the moments when you forget to check your phone because you're too in it. Pay attention to those things. They're not accidents. And if you're in a season right now where nothing feels clear, where you're just showing up, doing the next thing, not sure if any of it means anything, I want you to hear this. Faithfulness in the fog is still faithfulness. You are not wasting this season. You are being formed in it. If this is resonating with you, if you've been sitting with this kind of pressure for a while, I want you to subscribe and stay with me on this channel. Every week we talk about exactly this: faith, purpose, and navigating the life you're actually living in your 20s. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming. The last thing I want to leave you with is this: at the end of your 20s, you're not going to be measured by how quickly you figured it out. You're going to be shaped by who you became in the process of figuring it out. The woman who sat with uncertainty and chose faith anyway. The woman who didn't have all the answers but kept showing up. The woman who stopped performing a version of herself for everyone else and started actually becoming herself. That's the work, and it doesn't have a deadline. So if you're in your 20s right now, confused and a little lost and wondering if you're already behind, I want to tell you, with everything I have, you are not behind. You are right on time. Your story is not finished. And the fact that you're asking these questions means you're already further along than you think. That's what this channel is for the young woman who has big questions and an even bigger future. If today's video spoke to something you've been carrying, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And I'll see you next week. Purpose, faith, love. For every young woman navigating her 20s.